Welcome to the Connectors Podcast, the show that explores the importance of making meaningful connections for personal and professional growth and happiness. We will share how building and recognizing strong connections in life can help you achieve your goals, find fulfillment in your work, and how you can create opportunities to build a purposeful and fulfilling future. Come along for the journey and let's connect. Hello, Quentin.
Hi, Joe. How are you doing?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm good. How's the day going?
It is going. It's good for a Monday, as we were just discussing.
For a Monday.
Yeah, it must have been that post I put out yesterday saying Monday is, let's dive into Monday and no bad vibes kind of thing.
Yeah.
Yeah. Welcome to the Connectors. This is one of our short segments between Quentin and Joe where we talk about a topic for 15-20 minutes and just a way to kind of drum up some new information, see what people are interested in, what people want us to talk about. So we'd love to get your feedback. Please give us a review, give us a 5-star review. Let us know if you like our content, and that way we can pump out more content that you like.
Give us a 5-star review. We'll send you fortune cookies just for you.
We should make our own fortune cookies. Connection
Yeah.
cookies. Connection
Connection
cookies.
Did you get into the office today at work, or were you?
No, not today, but I am going to
Doing
go
remote
twice this week because we are now, there's a bit of an expectation come the fall that we'll go in twice a week.
Okay.
So we'll see who goes in on which days, but it'll be nice to at least there'll be more people in at one time, I
Gotcha.
think,
Yeah.
on the team. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Are you being encouraged to go in on a certain day, everyone on a Wednesday?
I don't know. I did check in with my team last week to see if there was specific days that they would be more inclined to come in. Consensus is anywhere between Tuesday and Thursday. I think people want to be home Mondays and Fridays.
That does make
Which
sense, eh?
it's nice. It's nice to be at home those days for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Gotcha. Well, let's dive into our topic, which is social exclusion at work and how it can hurt us literally. A recent study by NBorder found that 94% of employees are more productive when they feel connected to their colleague.
94%. That's a high percentage. I definitely, since I have been working in a team environment in corporate for a long period of time, can attest to this. I do feel like when we're not in the office or we haven't been working together on a project, that we can be disconnected, and you start to think. I think your mind starts to wander as well. That's a bit of when you're at home, working from home, and you're removed from the office, you're removed from seeing people. Your brain starts to race, and you're not in that engaged environment every day. And then I think you start to feel like, oh, am I still relevant in this world? Am I still connected to these people? Am I still part of this project? Am I still? And I've had those feelings myself. I'm curious to know if other people have as well.
Yes, so interesting that you said the word relevant, because that's the word that I had in my head. I was like, yeah, the relevance is sort of gone, like
Yeah.
it's so true. I can definitely see that. There's 2 interesting case studies that this article looks at, and one is at Charter Communications, which was headed by Paul Marchand, who's Executive Vice President and Chief Human Resources Officer. He says the Charter team finds them more efficient, more effective, and more creative when people work together within the same buildings and where their in-person interactions facilitate collaboration, coaching, and problem solving.
Yeah.
What do you
Again,
think about that, Joe?
it's not even think. I can actually say that I've experienced this and all of these things. I find what happens with the distance between our team members and other team members potentially is there's a bit of that room for things to slow down. And then if you haven't had regular touch points or those regular cadence of meeting schedules outside of the office, then those touch points, if they are not happening frequently, then you don't feel as engaged on that project. You may not be as efficient. There are some people who might rebuttal this because they say when they're in the office, they tend to be more distracted by side conversations going on or catching up with people. But I also find that energy kind of like gets translated back into your work. So you have a quick catch up with somebody, or you find out about a project they're working on and it triggers something with you to think, oh, I can link those two things. There's something relevant here for me to take back to my team, or, it sparks an idea or something. So I find those conversations tend to create a little bit more of this environment where you might be excited to jump back into a project because of the conversation that you just had.
Yes. Love that. What I'm sort of like hearing from that is that it's got to be intentional. And that ties into exactly what he's saying, because he's saying you got to make sure that the in-person interactions are the ones that have all of the deep richness to the human interaction, to make sure that the end result, when you go away, is has been filtered and synthesized and discussed and problem solved.
And I love the word you use there, intention. And this is something I am trying to integrate into my practice every single day, is that the conversations I'm having, the meetings I'm scheduling, the plans that I make outside of work, that they have intention to them. So if you're in the office and you feel like you're distracted talking to people, then maybe set an intention to go have a conversation with somebody about something specific, or to go ask them a specific question, not just to sit at the coffee cart and talk for half an hour about your kids, which is also nice. But, I'm just saying, if you're worried about that distraction, then you may have to be more intentional about the way you spend your time in the office.
Yeah, that's so true. Like when I think back to when I was working in offices, and it would be totally acceptable for the lunch break to be a break that's all about like talking about the kids if you've got them, talking about hobbies, talking about weekends, etc. But then during the rest of the work time, you can be more intentional about your time there for sure. So Jody Amendola is the CEO of Amendola Communications, and she ran the second case study. So she says there's a multi-layer approach to fostering human connections. And here are 3 things that she does to bridge the geography gap to drive human connections. There are Zoom staff meetings every 2 weeks, all with video on. There are daily team emails of all sorts of media and needs for stakeholders. And there's a monthly kudos program where employees submit kudos to deserving team members, which is pretty cool. Love those ideas.
Okay. And I'll just jump in. because I am in this environment at my day job. So our team meets probably 2 or 3 times a week right now, because we have set up sort of a regular schedule for touch points on our projects. But it is an opportunity just to highlight some of the things we're working on. So that works out well. Most of us are on the call by video. I love the idea of the daily team emails or sharing. So we use Teams. We at Teams chat. So, sometimes that's where we share information or updates on what's going on. But I like the idea of maybe sharing like a little inspirational quote or something you want to get, your team sort of uplifted with, is a cute idea. And then we also have like a similar monthly kudos program too for you can purchase something like a gift card for another team member that may not even be on your direct team, but maybe they helped you with a project or something. So it's a nice idea. So I feel like we're doing some of these things, yet there's still that feeling and sense I'm getting that people love the hybrid. They don't necessarily want to go to the office, and they might be feeling still some social exclusion in other ways outside of these things.
Yeah, there's something that has not come back to the socialism, to the social atmosphere of pre-pandemic, no?
No, I would agree. And, if we can kind of reference some back to our friends, Phil Burgess, our friend Pete Bombaci, whom we both had on our show, they talk about finding your people. So, spending time with the people at work that you do know you can trust is a big one. So, at least making a connection with one or two people outside of your team or something that you can have a little conversation with, maybe more on a personal level. Maybe trying to get people involved after work to go for a drink or a coffee at lunchtime or a little walk around your building or something, just to feel like you are connecting again on that sort of personal level.
And when it's on the level of leadership, like you got to focus on the strong social and human connections in the workplace, because this builds a powerful foundation to achieve a competitive advantage. And obviously employees who find connection feel good, they're more productive, they're going to stay, and the qualitative impact of this will pay off for your business.
Yeah, that's a good point too, is bringing it back to leadership, I think, as well. We need to see that they're not heads down on their desk all day with their doors shut, that they have, that open door policy, that their team knows they can go to them, that they're also fostering those relationships and cultivating a team that is showing up and feels socially included.
Well, thank you for joining us for this little bite-sized dive into social exclusion at work. Tell us what you thought about it. Leave a review, like, subscribe, and follow, and join the conversation.
Thanks, everyone. Stay connected.
If you've got a story inside of you, consider pitching it to us, the Connectors. Get in touch with us on any of our social media platforms, and either Joe or myself, Quinton, will get back to you. So come join us on the show and let's connect.